I know I've missed some games. We're a little late on some of the game twos, game threes, and even game fours of some of these playoff series. But as a former enjoyer or a former fan of a bottom feeding team in the league, I wanted to cover the draft lottery. So the draft lottery happened today, about an hour and a half ago it started. It's notorious for creating controversial moments or these lucky draws for these teams that had something bad just happen. Now, we just witnessed the number 4 most unlikely team to get the first overall pick. And who got that pick, you might ask? The Dallas Mavericks, who traded away Luka Doncic halfway through the season. Now, the conspiracy rumor mill is moving around. It's churning hard right now because a lot of people think that the Dallas Mavericks got the first pick as a payback from the NBA for sending Luka Doncic to a big market team like Los Angeles. I can see it. I don't fully doubt it. I think, honestly, the league has bought into what the NFL has adopted and became a entertainment business and not a sports business. Now, that might be a little tinfoil hat-ish, maybe, but I'm not sure. I'd like to still think that there's still integrity in the game of basketball, but with the way things are officiated and some players are allowed to do more than others, it definitely, really, honestly is for the boost of ratings. Now, what I personally thought was going to happen, like a dirty, whimsical wizard, I thought Adam Silver was going to give the Spurs the first pick. And obviously, it's in a format where it's not giving teams whatever based on what. They say they pick like bingo balls. Now, the draft lottery usually works as this: the 3 bottom feeders, the 3 dumpster fires, the 3 cum guzzlers, if you will. They get the top 3 chances of getting the first overall pick. They get tied at 14%. This was put in action to punish tanking franchises that know they're not going to win, so they're just going to blatantly not even try, and they're going to try to get the best odds for the overall pick. And in this draft lottery, they got severely nerfed and severely butt fucked. So the 3 worst teams ended up getting the 4th, 5th, and 6th pick in this lottery. But this is a good draft. It's not the worst draft to fall just a couple spots down. But that being said, the top 3 picks went to all potential playoff teams that were hurt by either a bad trade or injuries, and some both. So the Dallas Mavericks end up with the first. The first overall pick is clearly going to be Cooper Flagg, without a doubt. He was giving Team USA buckets in the summer and ended up averaging about 20 points and like 8 rebounds or 7 rebounds. He's a 6'9" forward with great skill. No brainer first overall pick. And he's going to, and what rebuilding franchise is he going to go to? The Mavericks with Kyrie, Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, PJ Washington. A solid team. Klay Thompson. The second pick goes to the Spurs. Not like they were going to make the playoffs until Wemby got hurt. They have great players too. Keldon Johnson, Chris Paul if he comes back for another year, Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox. They have great players. They just have the Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle. Another great player. I thought they were going to get the first pick. And then I would have really been putting up the conspiracy theory rumors and stuff like that. And the 76ers, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Kyle Lowry, former MVP Joel Embiid. That's a good team. They end up with the number 3 pick in the draft. They're all going to get great players. And now you have these bottom feeders, the Hornets, who have just one great player, LaMelo. The Jazz, who don't have any particularly great player. They have Lauri Markkanen, he's their best player, but not a guy I would go with for a lot of years and have be my franchise guy. The Washington Wizards, who have Jordan Poole, who just only cares about what baddies are in the stand at that given night. And I guess they have Chris Middleton. Yippee, 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 yippee. They have the 6th pick, not a franchise playing pick, unless they obviously they know something we don't know, and the player they get turns out to be great. The Pelicans at 7, the Nets at 8. The Pelicans, they have a lot of great players too, and they were hurt by injury. DeJounte Murray was out for a lot of the year. CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson, who I believe will get traded this offseason. But we move on. The Nets. That's a team that could have deserved a higher pick. They have D'Angelo Russell, for Christ's sakes. As a Timberwolves fan, miss me with him. He thinks that we need him. Buddy, you are severely mistaken. The Raptors at 9. I think they had a bad year. I think they have great pieces going forward, and they have a good spot in the draft where they could probably get somebody to help them out right away, and they could be fighting for a play-in spot next year. The Houston Rockets from the Suns. So the Suns have a stinker of a season. They end up moving up to the 10th pick because I think they were projected 12th or 11th. They move up to the 10th pick. It goes to the Houston Rockets, who just got bounced in the first round by the Warriors. Now, they could get a good, solid piece here. They could go for an older guy who's a little more experienced, NBA ready, but they are young enough to also take a chance on somebody young who will learn from their growing success by their already a little bit experienced core, young core, with Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun, Tari Eason, all of those guys. So they could be in a great spot after this draft as well. The Portland Trailblazers at 11, that's a rough one. They have a lot of pieces that I think a lot of competing teams really want, and they were able to put together some great games and fight for victories earlier in this season. But unfortunately, they are still a bottom-feeding team, but they have a great backcourt. The Chicago Bulls. I don't think Jesus Christ himself could help the Chicago Bulls. Whatever they do in this draft and what they've been doing in the past, 10 drafts, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. They had Lauri Markkanen, traded him, then he turned out to be a fucking beast as soon as he went to the Jazz. They cannot catch a break. But they did get Josh Giddey this last season, the child lover, and he played great for them. They also have Vucevic, who is getting a little older, but I think he's trying to compete, and they are not going to do that, so I think Vucevic is going to be on the way out. I could see them taking a big at number 12 here, a young, exciting big to pair with Josh Giddey and some of the other guys they have. Kobe White is another one. The Atlanta Hawks, after coming, so the Sacramento Kings were here. Their pick ends up going to the Hawks, who had the 14th pick, but that pick goes to the Spurs. So a little flip-flopping there, but 13 goes to the Hawks. After taking one of the worst players, one of the worst first-round picks I think that it's going to turn out to be, they have a lot of holes to fill because ever since they made the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't know if they've made the playoffs. I think they got bounced in the first round one of the years since then. They've been consistently in the play-in, not winning their play-in games. Trae Young is just wasting away years there. I'm not sure what they can do. I think they were hoping for a little bit of a higher draft lottery here to maybe go into the Giannis sweepstakes. Because they have some good pieces here, but it's just not meshing well. Now number 14, the San Antonio Spurs, they have the number 2 pick as well. I mean, they could, if the Bucks are interested, they could move these picks to Milwaukee to take Giannis, send a couple of young great guys. Who knows what could happen? But the Spurs are only obviously going to get better. They're not in a tough position, so they could do whatever they want with this pick, really. So that sums up the bottom feeders championship of the NBA. Picking up the pieces and crumbs, zamboning the drinks off the floor of the NBA, and hopefully trying to pick their future. So, yeah, that's just something big in the NBA world that I thought I would just jump on here and cover real quick. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.